Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. I'm Jen.
Amanda.
Kathleen.
And welcome to our podcast all about knitting and crocheting and other stuff you can do with yarn depending on what we're doing, whether it's embroidery or weaving or spinning or take your pick.
Yeah.
Take your pick.
Yarny
Ask
stuff.
questions. All kinds of stuff.
Yarny
all kinds of stuff. And also, guys, don't forget to like the podcast down below because that really helps us gain traction. And then also it'll show up in your feed because who loves an algorithm? No one. No one loves an algorithm.
So if you're coming back to join us and you know you like it, definitely like. If you're new and are waiting to check out whether you actually like it or not, that's okay. And welcome!
And welcome!
And if you're returning, welcome back.
Yes.
Welcome back. Yeah, we digress a lot, so...
That is our unofficial subtitle.
I know, it really is. Like our tagline. We digress. So we have a little bit more time this week than our previous, official podcast where we're like, we gotta run for time.
That was crazy.
That was a day.
It was really
fun.
crazy. And you know what? It was interesting. I think we actually just talked faster.
I think we did.
Almost the same amount of content, but it was like a half hour shorter. It's pretty crazy.
To those of you coming to us from outside the Northeast, we apologize.
Yeah,
And you can listen to us slower.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen to me.
Or you can just listen to Amanda, who talks
I
at a
think
reasonable
even
pace.
you were quick in that episode. We were just so aware
"Oh."
that we had limited time.
I know. I mean, we are in New Jersey, so we do
I'm gonna put out
talk relatively fast. So apologies. Earlier in my corporate career, they made all of the editors take public speaking classes, which I actually think is very good because we always had to present, whether it's to salespeople internally or at conferences and things like that, and editorial attracts extroverts, but it attracts a lot of introverts.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And sometimes you have copy editors who would be the main editor for a book, and copy editors are introverts.
Mm-hmm.
They like their closed doors.
Solo practitioners.
Solo practitioners. The more quiet, the better.
Yep.
The less people interaction, the happier. So it was very handy, but I felt for the public speaking teacher because for about half of us, he was like, speak up. And for the other half, he was like, slow down.
I was like, shut up.
Shut up. I was in the slow down. I was like, if they can't keep up with me, they should not be doing this job. Sorry, I am not presenting to, I'm not a sales rep. I'm not presenting out around the country. I'm presenting to the sales reps in New York.
To our team.
So I'm like, nobody wants to listen to me talk for 45 minutes about a picture book. Thanks. Nobody wants the picture book read to them.
Yeah.
Unless you're...
Teddy.
I love a
unless
picture
you're
book
top.
read to me, but if you're trying to sell a picture book, you don't need the... You can read it. You can read it yourself because you're grown up.
There you go.
Right?
Not with the voices.
Not with the voices, but you don't need an editor to present it to you. There are a couple editors who are notorious for that. And the amazing editors.
I'm getting total elf vibes now. All I can imagine is the meetings. For
I
elf.
love that movie so much.
I do too. It is
but
my favorite
you
Christmas
can,
movie.
As someone from publishing, you're like, you are movie people, and this is how movies work. This is not how publishing works.
Mm-hmm,
There's no little book of ideas. There's none of that.
Miles Finch.
If there was a printer's error and they left out the story about the pokey
the
little
dog
puppy,
and the pigeon or whatever.
that's on the printer, and they have to reprint it because it's a printing error. It would never have gotten passed and into stores. It would have been pulped. And the reason I know this is because that's happened.
Yeah. I used to go on press checks when I was in marketing decades. Yeah, it can be really fun. And usually,
so fun when you're not the person who actually is responsible for the color. And you're like, this is cool.
Yeah, back in the day, I used to go out for very nice lunches. It's like, it's going to be 4 hours till the next sheet.
You're like, all right,
where can we go?
Let's go hang out. No, that's the one thing about Elf that makes me a little crazy.
Oh, that's my wrap.
Uh-oh.
Knitting with black yarn.
Knitting with
black
yarn.
fingering yarn.
Oh,
During
while
black
doing
yarn.
something else.
Black fingering yarn.
Yeah.
I'm not in
Poor choices.
black
Poor
finger.
choices.
All right.
But we should hop into what's going on around town. We're recording this on Halloween.
We are,
Yeah.
and actually, this reminds me though. This is like a sneak peek of we are bringing back #opinion this episode, and one of the things we're talking about is short rows, and you know, we should almost just take. I'm going to take a little quick picture. No, let's do around town instead.
Okay.
Do you know what's on town?
I know that this afternoon
It's Halloween.
It's Halloween, so I hope everybody had a fantastic Halloween and has had a fantastic half-price candy day, which is my 14-year-old son's new favorite holiday. That would be tomorrow, November 1st.
And you have pictures of your
I have
kiddos?
pictures of my kiddos.
Yay.
Ollie is Homer Simpson. The school does not allow masks, although perhaps there is a picture of him in a mask, as well as one of my finished objects, actually. This is
this evening,
fiber related, is because they don't really allow masks in their Halloween parade, I was like, I will make you a Homer Simpson wig. The Homer Simpson wig is crocheted out of sweater, Sven and Chloe now Blue Sky
fibers
sweater. Yes, it has the perfect Homer yellow.
Oh nice. My goodness. Nice. The pollen, right?
Yes, I think so. Or sunflower.
Maybe.
Or
Sunshine.
Pollen is orange.
Pollen is my color.
It is. I did a top down single crochet hat and a little bit of shaping at the back so it just covers his hair. It fits him really well. It is hilarious. And then I embroidered the black on him for the Homer's hair. I mean, he looks better in the rubber mask, as one would, because it is hilarious to see a 4.5-foot Homer just walking around with a towel under his belly. And then Max is John Wick, which I was like, yes, I will buy you a cheap black suit from Old Navy, because now you have a black suit.
You have a cheap
right.
suit.
And a black, I don't know if he's going to wear the black shirt or the white shirt. Depends on which John Wick he's going to be. But I was like, you cannot carry any form of weaponry.
No, of course.
So he's going to carry a pencil. So for anyone who has seen the John Wick series, the
pencil is mightier than the sword.
No, it's that John Wick is legendary assassin who could kill anyone, even with a pencil.
Okay.
And then he does. He kills like 5 people with a pencil.
There you go.
So he's just going to carry a pencil.
Clever.
And I was like,
obviously, I have not seen those.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And what are your kids going to be?
My kids are the cast of Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, fun. Oh my god, I love Phineas and Ferb.
I love that show so much.
When Gene was recovering from his first knee replacement, the only thing he could find on the hospital TV was Phineas and Ferb, and he was in for like 2 days.
Yeah.
He had watched every episode.
It is so funny.
It's a great show.
Charlie is Phineas. And Eric is Ferb. Because Ferb is taller than Phineas. And then Abby is Candace.
Perfect.
You're so busted.
I love it. That's so perfect.
And guess what Teddy is? Harry the Platypus.
Oh yes! Oh my god, it's so fun.
And he has this little hat and a duckbill. And when he takes his hat off, he crawls on the ground. And when he puts his hat on, he stands up and walks around.
It's so perfect. Oh my god. I hope you get some video to insert, right?
Yeah. So I definitely have pictures of them, but I'm not going to be here tonight.
Oh, that's right. Oh.
I have to go to Las Vegas for work. Boo. I think most of my team got there yesterday. And I was like, no. I'm going to be at the beginning of Halloween anyway. And I got them all ready for school.
That was bad timing. That was like
terrible.
This
conference used to be in September, and now they moved it to Halloween. I'm like,
so dumb. Clearly planned by someone who does not have children,
right?
Or has grown children. Who's like, what?
And doesn't see their grandchildren.
Yeah,
even old, people with older kids, a lot of times are grandchildren. Haley sent me some pictures. I definitely miss seeing her Halloween costumes. And yes, even in college, most kids do dress up for Halloween. She and her crew wore different costumes for Friday night and Saturday's parties.
Nice.
Oh,
Friday night, they were the cast of The Wizard of Oz. So one friend was the wizard. She was Glinda, but like updated. So like, peachy pink slip dress miniskirt kind of thing.
Cute.
The other one who was kind of traditional was Dorothy. And then one was, I forget who the other friend was. And then Saturday night, they actually did not do like a group costume. She was some singer who actually I don't know, but she was carrying around a guitar all night and doing high kicks.
All right.
And then tonight they have other parties, so I don't know what she's going to be on actual Halloween.
Well,
TBD.
Hopefully I'll have pictures.
She knows. I really appreciate the pictures.
Yeah,
So.
I don't know if Lily's going to send me a picture, but she did get my Halloween box, and it had a candy corn headband.
Nice.
That was
Cute.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll send those kind of things too. This time I sent Haley yarn from Le Suitcase Sale.
Oh,
And
yeah.
It was like a, kind of mid first semester, thank you. Just like goodie box, because I'm probably not going to see her till Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow.
Which is,
it's a while.
Which is weird, yeah. I mean, she's close enough that often we do get to see her, but there's kind of no particular reason this time, so.
Just logistics.
Lily's
sometimes.
So.
Yeah. She's
We're not
further
gonna
away, yeah.
We're not going to see her Thanksgiving because we're going to Alabama. So.
Ooh, yeah.
And she's going elsewhere, or she's
I don't know. I think she's going to go see her big sister.
Nice.
You know, the funny thing about Phineas and Ferb is I went to high school with one of the producers.
Oh.
So every so often, Montvale makes an appearance on Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, that makes
one
sense.
of them is
Yeah.
the Wheel of Undesirable Places.
Oh, no.
Which I died. I
love you, Montvale.
Love you, Montvale. Sorry. It was like Moncrief.
That's funny.
Zach Moncrief is the producer. But I find it absolutely hilarious anytime because the kids still occasionally watch it, and I'm like, yes, please do, because it's a fantastic show.
It's really fun. I love the theme song.
Oh my God.
It's so fun.
We have the soundtrack. We have the soundtrack. It's,
oh wow,
it's
you
on
really
Spotify.
Love it.
I mean, we don't. But yeah, that was on many Max's favorite or Ollie's favorites mixtape, and yeah, I routinely get some of those songs stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're good.
Yeah.
They are. They really are.
But, the kids were doing character studies in costume the other night, so they were watching Phineas and Ferb in their costumes.
Nice.
Sure, yeah.
Oh my God, they're such performers.
But they.
I love the Perry the Platypus thing, though.
The episode that they were watching was the special when the boys got sent to, like, the military school.
Oh, yes.
I don't remember that.
That special, apparently, I don't remember this one either, but Beth did. My oldest. Apparently it was on at prime time at 8:30. And we were eating dinner because we eat dinner late, and I told her she had to finish dinner. She had an utter meltdown.
Oh.
She was like, I said, I can't believe that I didn't let you watch it. She's like, I don't think I expressed myself as coherently or politely as I am right now.
I need to watch that show!
But apparently I did let her watch the special in between, like she came and ate dinner during the commercial breaks.
Okay.
This is before TiVo and commercials.
That's good.
But then she was grounded from TV for a month. So.
It's a compromise.
A memory of that episode.
Wow.
I feel like that's a reasonable parenting thing where you're like, fine, if you're going to freak out so
This
much
is so
eat during
important.
the commercials, but also there are consequences to
Yes.
those actions.
Yes.
I don't know what else is going on around town because
Well, things just wrapped up.
Yeah, the film
A lot of
festival
things
just wrapped
wrapped
up. Rhinebeck weekend just wrapped up.
weekend. If you haven't seen, go back in your feed or in our channel and check out Amanda and Kathleen's Rhinebeck weekend recap, which was so entertaining to watch.
It was so good.
So entertaining to do.
I was going to say
you did a great job.
It's a
You really
feat
did.
of editing on behalf of Amanda. That was a
So
lot
many
of
clips.
video clips.
So many clips.
But also, I feel like you were very thoughtful in terms of taking the video clips. I feel like I get distracted in the moment of something, and then I'm like, oh, I really regret not having a photo or a video or not thinking.
I vacillate between the two. It's like, should I do this? Should I just experience this, or should I tape it? Or
But well done, done, team.
Aw, thank you.
It
We did have fun talking about it. And before we started, we're like, oh yeah, this will be a half hour. Of course not. But you know, there was a lot. There were a lot of events.
5 events,
especially Amanda.
Yeah, I mean, you had
she had all the events. I had a lot of 400 miles of back and forth or something. A lot of driving.
Uber Jean.
Well, Uber team one day, and then
5 stars.
Kara the next day. And
Uber Kara.
When we were so funny, before we even got to the New York Thruway, we had like missed our turn twice because we just get in the car and start talking, and yeah. But and it's like we've both been up that way a million times for various things, not even just Rybeck, but yeah. Luckily, it's like, all right, no, we can still get to 17 from here. Yeah, turn here, get off at this exit. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I feel like these weeks of the year are the ones where you sort of take a breath. Next podcast will tell you all about the holiday things that are coming up, because next podcast we'll talk about Small Business Saturday.
Yep.
And then the early December holiday events. What's Hanukkah this year? Is it
it's
mid. I just looked
mid,
it up.
Right?
And I can't remember.
I think it's mostly in the teens.
I think it's in the teens.
If I recall correctly.
Yeah, it was
when it's super early. That's challenging.
It is. It's hard, especially when you do both.
Yeah.
Like, and we don't even, like, go whole hog for Hanukkah, but, like, celebrating both, it's, and also, like, I'm in full birthday season, right? Birthday season kicks off in August, really, with my brother's birthday. Well, technically, my brother-in-law's birthday is July, my brother's birthday is August, Jonathan's is September, my mother-in-law is October, Ollie is October, my best friend is October, then November, I have my other good friend, Max, my mom, my father-in-law. December is me. It ends with January. It's my dad. And it's like, then fold in Thanksgiving and Halloween.
Yeah.
And like the teachers' convention week where kids are off of school. And Christmas. And Hanukkah. And, Jewish holidays in September.
And then New Year's.
And then New Year's. And then you're like, in January, I'm about to pass out.
Yeah. But this is your opportunity, 2 weeks.
Chilling.
And then we'll get back to you with all the...
Unless you're in retail and planning stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes. So, why don't we move on to... Should we do finished objects?
Sure. I'm just taking a picture.
Take a picture. I'll talk.
I'll talk about what I'm wearing when we get to it. That's it.
I have a finished object that would have been a whip had it not taken less than 3 hours.
It's so cute too. I love the pattern.
The Braided Hearts beanie by I don't remember who, but Amanda will throw it in.
It'll be here
in Malabrigo Rasta, which we're going to talk about, which is spread out here, which is a new yarn for us, and this is in fuchsia.
Yes.
Yep. I would say it was funny.
I think cutest.
It is probably the most requested yarn by customers that we have now finally added to the store. And it's because it was a whole new company for us. Like, we hadn't dealt with them previously.
Yeah.
I really like this.
I'm happy that we're stocking it now.
I love the pattern. It was so fun to work. It wasn't difficult. It was a lot of slip stitches and like very well written pattern. Multiple sizes from little kids.
I saw that.
Through
really
adults,
good sizing. Yeah.
For super bulky and for bulky.
So
if you want,
and
also
did they even have
worsted?
worsted?
Down.
Did they have worsted or something?
They described how to translate it for worsted. I actually didn't look that.
Oh, I know. There was another pattern that I just saw with Rasta that also is done. It's available in 3 weights as well as sizes.
And this was one skein I had a little bit left over, so you could probably make a tiny pom pom, or you could check out
Jen's choices.
Some of these pom poms.
Yep.
So
pom-pom season.
This is the Levafur pom pom. I was leaning toward. This is going to be a shop sample, so you'll be able to see it in the store. I was leaning towards the gray, but look at the gray with sparkles.
I like the gray with the sparkle.
I like the gray with the sparkles with the fuchsia. I think that looks really pretty. But then you could also do...
I like the multi that has a little pink in it. I think that's also very
pink. I feel like this would be really cute for like if you were super girly or like for an 8-year-old hat, right? Like, I mean, I would wear this too. Who am I kidding?
Yeah, I love wearing my kid hats.
I don't know. I love a bright and a gray. Or the pink on pink. So fun. Yeah. Because it's got the gray tips. But I'm
sparkle, but I actually really like this gray.
Do we have black with sparkle?
The tones.
Black with sparkle.
They're right back here. I like the... I feel like the sparkle is like your evening option.
It's like gilding the lily.
Right? This is your evening option. And then this...
That is pretty. That's like a good...
That's a good, like, I would wear this into the city.
I think almost anybody could wear that.
Whoops. Sorry, I dropped one by the radiator. I didn't want to, like, put it back there.
But these Levifur palms come with ties, so you can take them off for washing.
So easy to change out.
And also with something like this, you just pop them through. You can sew a button to the inside of a hat and then pop these through and tie them around. Or if you're lazy like me, you can just pop them through and tie them in a little.
Yeah, I find the Levifur really are fine to just pop through. Yeah, I haven't done.
They have a nice.
I like this pink.
Oh, I like that pink too.
That's nice.
Actually, I think that one works better because it's like a cool pink with a cool pink.
Yeah, that's
like
a little peachy, almost. Oh, and I like that light gray too.
Oh, this light gray?
Yeah.
Oh, this light gray.
The white would be pretty.
The light grays. Yeah, the white.
I think we might need to order more sparkles.
I think we need more sparkles if that's the last one.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
I'm going to pop these through. These have a nice, like, the ties are a nice, like, textured ribbon.
Yeah, they're nice sturdy ribbon.
So
they really
they're going to grip a little bit better than, like, sometimes you get, like, a silky ribbon palm or...
And you also don't even need to put it on a needle, as you can see Jen's doing.
I literally just poked it right through.
I kind of roll it to make it like a little...
Yeah.
Almost make it like a self needle.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah. And I'm like, I have nails, so I'm just really just
this
poking it right through in between the stitches. There we go. And then I'm just going to tie it in a little bow.
You can do that in the car on the way to the party for wherever you need to gift this.
Exactly.
That never happens.
Never happens. I'm just going to tie it in a little bow so we can untie it if somebody wants to purchase it. Voila!
I love that. That's
cute.
really pretty.
Yeah,
really
I like
nice. Very nice.
Super cute.
Yeah, do you want me to I'm going to show it
up close. Yeah, because I don't know if you can see the little hearts.
Yeah. And I'm going to run and go get our sign for the door so we don't have people knock.
Look at that. Oh my goodness. This would actually be really cute for Valentine's too.
That would be super cute for Valentine's.
I'm
And I'll
excited.
tell you, that was a super, super quick, like, I did that in an afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a slower knitter, it might take you an
2
afternoon
evenings or
and an
something.
evening. Or it might take you 2 evenings. But, like, if you
And
want
that's going to live right up there.
yeah, so as soon as you come into the store, boom, it's right there.
Rasta display.
And we have a bunch of different colors, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but, like a super chunky beanie, like, you know, it was the perfect size skein it was really nice to work with.
Yeah.
Colors are gorgeous. I loved it. It's great.
Cool.
It was super satisfying.
I'm sure I'm going to have a couple of gift knits and Rasta.
I mean, it's the perfect, like, oh no, I forgot I needed a teacher gift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do this beanie in, like, you know, a less bright color, or we have multis or whatever, for if you have, like, you know, like, my husband wouldn't necessarily go for a bright color, but, like, the gray is tonal, and he would totally wear
Yeah,
this
we
kind of
definitely have
texture,
a bunch of
right?
tonals.
It's like just like a thick, squashy red.
On the end, we'll get to colors.
This one.
We'll get to colors. Like, there's a lot. There's something for everyone, from little kids through big. But, like, I'm a big fan of hats for your gifting season.
And there definitely are a couple of other patterns that I've seen people use Rasta for a lot. Yeah. One is the Monster Cables beanie that Kim from Kim and Jana did like 35 of last year.
Oh my goodness.
That is
it's
such
funny.
a good hat.
When I went to Ravelry and I pulled up, you know, like, if you go into a yarn, it can say, you know, suggested projects or something. And on that page, one of the top ones is her 35 hats because, you know, it's obviously...
Did she put them all in one project?
I think so. I think she might have actually done that. Like,
otherwise you're like, how many projects do you have? And you're like, 80 million.
And then another one that is super popular for this is the perky little hat, which has like a nice band.
It's cute.
Anyway, it's great for any of your chunky hat. Yes, I think you did. That's right.
You did.
I don't
probably in Franca back when it was thicker.
Maybe Franca.
Or maybe something else. Maybe even Sugar Was Chill. Possibly.
No, I think I don't remember.
Who knows?
Anyway.
I've made a lot. I mean, when you
blast
spend
from the
2
past.
to 3 hours on a hat, you don't remember.
You don't really remember. Exactly.
Years later.
I know. I love a super bulky hat. It's just like, I need something to do. Here you go. I'm done. It's both a process and a product.
Yeah.
For those process and product knitters. I'm also wearing my Felix Pullover in Lucky Tweed. I don't remember which color this is.
By Amy Christoffers.
I think it's pine.
Pine. I was like, it's not moss. Moss is the one that Throwback
grayer.
is in.
Yeah.
But in
pine.
Kelborn Woolens, Lucky Tweed, basically our mascot yarn for the store. Because we all love it so much.
That sweater in that yarn.
This sweater
Yep.
in this yarn.
Yeah, I was wearing that a ton last week. Mine version in oatmeal.
Today is
I
finally
wore
cold
mine
enough
to
for
Rybeck on Saturday. Well, not in Lucky Tweed, but that pattern.
Yep.
For Felix. Yeah.
It's finally sweater weather for me, which,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm still not sock weather because I'm wearing sneakers with no socks, but, you know, baby steps. Baby steps.
For sure.
Who else has a finished object? I'm going to put this over
Not
here.
it. Not me.
Not it.
I have a couple.
Oh, do you want me to tell you what I'm wearing?
Yes.
Yes, say what
Okay.
you're wearing.
I just remembered this morning. The bloom.
Magnolia.
Magnolia. That's the tree. I'm like, it's a plant. This is
Love
the
magnolias.
Magnolia Bloom by Camilla Vad in Woolfolk Luft. This was my sweater of 2022. I made it September a year ago and wore it nonstop all winter. I dropped Abby off at the orthodontist. She's getting braces today, and the receptionist was like, "I love your sweater. Where did you get it?" I get so many compliments on this one.
Mhm.
Like I
It is
made
so
it.
pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It
so
is
well designed.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love
Yay.
the Magnolia Bloom, and it looks so nice in the Woolfolk. That color is so nice.
This was one of the new colors last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So-
It's very pretty.
Nice.
And how about you, Bethany?
So I have a couple of finished objects, and I'll also talk about what I'm wearing first before I forget. So this is the Sophie Shawl in Woolfolk Far, which is like
Oh, nice.
my thing of the week. Honestly, I wore this 2 days ago. It was just chilly enough. I went to a movie and it was one of those rainy days, and I wasn't sure whether it was going to be cold in the theater or hot in the theater. And I kept this around my neck the whole time, and it really kept me so cozy. And then actually Shayla posted in her story last night. Shayla Black Pearl Magic posted, you know, oh my god, the squish of the Sophie Shawl, and I messaged her back. I'm like, yes, it is the best.
That's
So
so squishy.
This is my favorite one. I've made a few. This is my favorite. 3 skeins of Woolfolk Far.
Oh no.
It is
so squishy.
It is so squishy, and I think by the time I finished this last year, it was getting warmer. I don't think I got a whole lot of wear out of it, but it's already in heavy rotation, and
Nice.
it's perfect. It's a little pop of color, plus it's warmth, and you know you can wear it with a jacket, wear it with a coat, whatever.
Yeah.
Or just wear it with your turtleneck.
And it's so cute.
I really do love it.
It's really easy to
so
wear. I think that.
Yeah, I think that's one reason it's so popular. It's just
I agree. It's a straightforward pattern. Yes,
and
but
it's so
easy to
squishy.
make.
It feels so luxurious.
Yes.
Yeah, it's quick and easy. It's a good carry around project, honestly.
Yeah.
Even though you might be using multiple skeins of yarn. So another quick carry around project is that I was working on last time, Le Bandana.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So this
I
is
love
our
it.
Helix sample.
Feels so
Helix.
good.
Oh, it feels so
It feels
nice.
so good. And you know, I've gotten really lazy lately. I just steam blocked it. I didn't actually wet block it. It looks fine.
nice. It
It's
looks
kind of
fine.
heavily steam blocked it.
I mean, this is the thing. Steam blocking is a valid form of blocking.
It is.
It's still like wet blocking.
And
but
for
steam blocking
for
works.
certain things, I mean, it looked pretty even. And
Yeah.
honestly, I just wanted to get it into the store sooner rather than later.
I love the color combo. So it's Yellow Brick Road and
Stone.
Stone.
I do believe.
Pretty.
Yeah, I don't
pretty.
have the labels with me anymore
And
because
then-
it's been here in the store. That's why I actually almost forgot about it too, because I did finish it probably shortly after the last episode, and
Such a nice.
it's been hanging out here in our LBA area.
wearable.
So, Yeah, so
And
this
Amy's
is
been wearing hers nonstop.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm,
every time I
mhm.
see her.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
and
feel like again, it's that easy to wear.
yeah, and it's so customizable too. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm thinking I probably will do another one at some point, maybe with thinner stripes, or maybe
Oh, yeah.
maybe
or
like a half and half. I've seen people do that with the Sophie also.
Yeah.
Like have each end be a different color, and then you get both
Oh, I
colors in
like
the front
that
when
idea.
you wrap it and wear it. But yeah, it feels really nice, very, very soft, and just again a little pop of
I like
color,
the
a little
airy
nice
little.
wardrobe accessory.
It's also nice to see because I think people can get, like, if you're used to working with thicker yarns, when you see a thinner yarn, you're like, hey, what's going on? But, like, you see how it works up knit at, like, I don't want to say a normal gauge, but like a
It's
slightly
it's
larger
almost like a
gauge.
DK. It's somewhere between a sport and a DK gauge.
Right. And it's technically,
And it's held double. It is held
How
double.
much did you have left over?
A lot.
Oh.
I had like 60 or 65 grams, I think, of each.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so you
good
definitely could
yardage.
make, 2+ out of 2 skeins.
Yeah. Well, that's what, when I was in France and talking to some of the vendors, they were saying in Europe, most shoppers are looking for lace or fingering, just because it goes so much further. You can
bang for your buck.
Yep, you can hold 2-3 strands together if you want a thicker gauge.
Yeah.
But it just goes so much further. So your hand-dyed dollar.
Yep.
Yeah. And I saw on Instagram that Asia, who works at the shop here, was using it. I can't remember for what sweater, but oh my gosh, it looked beautiful. She was holding it 2 colors.
She made a PetiteKnit sweater. Yeah. Was it the brown one?
She made one. Yeah, she did brown one, and then she was using something in, I want to say, vintage Grello and something else held together. And I was like, oh my god, it looked so pretty.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw her on Sunday, but
Oh, on story. Okay. Then I'll not debug her.
Yeah.
Maybe I can find it.
She was like, I'm in love. And I'm like, it is so pretty.
Yeah.
Do you have any other?
I do. So I tend to get these like weekend obsessive projects. And we were transitioning our windows from, like September apple picking to October, November pumpkin time.
Love it.
So I will find the name of the pattern so Amanda can link it down here. It's from Ravelry, but it was on somebody's blog, so it's kind of listed in a weird way. But you can, these are the same pattern. It's just different weights of yarn. So, and for this guy, I just used a little wine cork.
I love that. That's so cute.
Are those knitting around?
They're crocheted.
Oh, they're crocheted.
Oh, and actually, I have one that I have started. I do.
It almost looks
I brought my.
It does. It almost looks like a brioche.
It's crochet. And actually, last week, it must have been Thursday, Serena and I were here. Oh no, I haven't started a new one.
I was wondering if you use double points or magic loop. I mean, I don't have to wonder, but
yeah. Turquoise with vanilla is the designer. How to crochet a pumpkin is what it's called on her blog, and yeah, it's really cool. It's basically it is a free pattern, so I feel like I can talk about the method.
Yeah.
You do a chain of however many, and also if I do make a bigger one, I have this like test yarn that somebody sent us.
Oh, nice.
I thought I would do it with an even bigger hook.
Bigger.
You chain however many, and then you do single crochets in the first couple. Then you do 85% of it in half double crochets, and then you do 3 in single crochet, and it kind of shapes it so that
cool.
So the part with the 2 singles becomes the top. The part with the 3 singles becomes the bottom. It shapes it perfectly. It's one of she probably messed around a really long time to figure out exactly how it would work. And then at the end, when you finished, it's 30. You do 30 rows total, so you've got like 15 bridges basically, and it's back loop only. So that's what makes the ridges. Yeah, but I think they're so cute.
They're
really
so cute.
They're so as I do, I did one. I'm like, oh, I've got to make another. They're like potato chips, So, but yeah, they're really fun, and they're helping us like move our windows into the more pumpkin season.
And our windows showed up, and there were a couple of folks in one of the Facebook groups in town. I think it was Secret.
Oh,
Montclair,
yes.
Who do where in Montclair?
Where in Montclair is this? That was really fun. Yeah,
it was cute because their little owl showed up, and I was like, I know where that is.
Yeah. It's funny. It was nice to see how many people did recognize where it was.
Pretty
quickly too.
Yeah. I think those would be super cute as like, if you wanted like a Thanksgiving
hostess gift kind of thing.
Hostess gift
or table display.
Yeah, table display, right?
Oh, and these I had some. This was like I think it may be even crayon that was like knit into really tight fingerless gloves that like there was only one. It was basically I was going to add it to the yarn bombing on our tree in the window, and I was like, oh, that's the perfect color for a stem. So I just snipped a little and stuck it in the hole. Perfect. And it's in the window, so it's not like people are going to be handling it. So.
Honestly, you could do these in crayon and have like stripy vertical
yes.
sleeves. Oh my god, how cute would that be?
Let's see. Do we have the right color back here?
I know. It's like what's behind me.
That would be nice.
That would be cool. Yep. All right, we'll play with that later.
I know, right? Oh my gosh,
yeah, that would be beautiful.
Purples, right?
Yeah, it would be one of those like fairy tale pumpkins.
I feel like this could turn into
this is like $3.74 if anybody's in stock.
The gnome obsession.
Yes,
right?
Everyone must make pumpkins.
Everyone must make pumpkins.
I certainly felt that way.
We're hosting Thanksgiving this year. Maybe I'll like bust some
You could also borrow these from the window
I can borrow them.
if you don't make as
Well,
many
you know
as
what? My dining room is like a deep teal.
Uh-huh.
Shocker.
Oh,
And with lime green velvet curtains.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know that the orange... Well, the orange might go.
Oh, it could go.
Yeah.
I would do a really saturated orange. Yeah, I
like
think
a
with
really,
all those
like...
intense jewel tones.
Yeah.
Orange always
throw
fits.
in
You're like, orange always fits.
Do like 3 orange
Or
pumpkins
gold.
and 2 lime pumpkins.
Look, or do like this. Gold would be
lime
beautiful.
pumpkins.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
metallic pumpkins.
Ooh.
Like one of the hold along.
Oh, yeah.
ones.
Yeah,
Ooh,
the
that'd be pretty.
sparkles. Mm-hmm.
All right, there you go.
Right.
So
there we go.
that's it for finished objects for me.
All right, cool. Do we want to go into whoops?
Sure.
All right.
You want to? Why don't you start? Or
Okay.
yeah.
I'll start. I am working on. Give me 1 second. Let me
Check
just
and
get
see.
to this.
Oh, if Abby is.
Oh, yeah, how she's
her,
doing.
How's her teeth?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. I am working on my Svendsdatter Pullover, which is my sweater class for this season, which just started this past Sunday, and was super fun. It was a great class. You know, I think it was a great class.
Nice
I have no idea if they think it was a great class, but hopefully.
Sure they did.
So this is the beginning of my Colorwork yoke. We talked a lot about fit and gauge and how to adapt a circular yoke to suit you and how to adapt a circular yoke to suit your fit, how to choose your fit, all that fun thing. And I'm going to say the same thing that I say to everybody. And like before, I'm always like, yes, you can pick your size according to your full bust, but also look at your upper bust. And now I'm very much more like, we evolve, right? And I'm like, pick according to your upper bust and then accommodate for your full bust, right? Like I have, and I say this as being busty, and like I have a big difference between your upper bust is measured at your underarm and it's a body measurement, so it's measured over very little, or your underwear and it's measured tight, so it's inaccurate to your body measurement. Don't measure over a sweater.
No.
Or sweatshirt or something.
No,
or hold it loose and be like, this is how I want it to fit. That's cool, but we're looking for body.
You need to know your body
You need
measurements.
to know your body measurements.
Yeah.
And like your upper bust is a more accurate representation of your bone structure, your body size, right? Like you're the size of your full bust for a hot minute, right? Like looking at your entire torso, hot minute. It's like gets bit, you increase and then it decreases. So like, why are you fitting your shoulders to your biggest part of you when you can accommodate your biggest part of you but fit to your shoulders? So I've gone from like, sure, let's pick by your full bust, but like err on the side of maybe a little bit less ease, to like just measure your upper bust and pick according to that. Like just do that. It's easier.
Yeah.
Even if you like, I have a 5-inch, 6-inch difference. I can't remember. I wrote it down. So I will accommodate for my full bust, but I'd rather have something fit through here.
Are you going to make modifications to
Yeah,
accommodate for?
I might. So the way with a top-down sweater, I'm going to try on the yoke, and then kind of extrapolate and see, because it might just be that I have less ease across here. Right? Where if I'm going from, 2 to 3 inches of ease everywhere else, but, at my full bust I have 0 ease, I'm cool with that. If you're not cool with that, you can make accommodations. Or if I'm going to have negative ease and it's going to look pulley across here, I can put in vertical darts. I don't love short row bust shaping because it creates a pocket. And in an oversized garment or a classic fitting garment, it's very noticeable.
Yeah.
What was I?
In not a great way, in my opinion. But that's for me. If you want it to, but yeah, like you like a closer fitting garment.
Yep.
Right. So like you might need the bust shaping.
I forget whose I was watching, whose podcast I was watching, that mentioned they were doing a similar round yoke, and they wanted to have more accommodation for their full bust, so they were removing the armholes.
Yes, I do that all the time.
That's
traditionally what I do.
Especially if you have like a...
Maybe it was our podcast.
Yeah,
Someone
maybe.
say
Maybe it was.
Maybe it was Kathleen.
I think I've said it like 3 times in the last 6
I've
months.
edited our podcast so much.
Did you did that with the neutral one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I normally do it actually, except for occasionally I don't, and it's because I try it on and I'm like, no, this will be fine as it is. Yeah. But something that's closer.
Oh, you mentioned that. Yes, you said you were going to do that,
and I didn't with the last one. I probably should, but also if I had, then I really would have needed a smaller size.
It was our podcast.
It's like
I was watching.
The ease is a little.
It was Kathleen.
I feel like that's the easiest trick if you have a large bust. It's just
instead of
the
dividing
stitches, don't divide it evenly because your back is way flatter than your front.
Yeah, and you can measure and determine exactly how much, or you can wing it. The other thing you can do is that if you picked according to your upper bust size, theoretically it won't be as big in the back.
Right.
Theoretically, right?
But again, that's not the way our bodies are shaped.
It's like our bodies are asymmetrical, like front to back kind of thing.
Well, and especially as you work on things for yourself, you get to know your body even more.
And how so you really want things to fit.
Exactly.
Like Amanda wants a closer fitting sweater.
Yep.
And you want waist shaping. I don't want waist shaping.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually might want. You might not. You probably don't need it. Like you'd have to look at your measurements, but like generally most patterns are graded for a B cup size, so 2 inches of difference between your upper bust and your full bust.
Mm-hmm.
Anything more than that,
I just like a little negative E, so I don't change it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you don't need
that's
to change
perfect.
it.
Yeah.
But if you were super busty and you wanted to fit closer to Amanda's, you might need, if there was like 4 inches difference, like mine between upper and full, you might need some short row shaping just to create a little bit of extra vertical space this way. I need more horizontal space, and I don't like things tied around my midsection. So I would do a vertical dart, which is I could either do increases on the body side, like raglan shaping before I divide for the sleeves, just on the front. Or I could, after I divide for the sleeves, I could do a couple of increases just this way to add a little bit of like swing. So there are a lot of different ways you can mess around with that. Indigo Dragonfly has a really great like how to measure your body thing, and I think she might charge for it, but it's worth it.
I'll put a link down below.
Yeah, she has a really great thing, and Ysolda Teague has her size chart that has like a very wide range of sizes and like goes into like really granular detail, like shoulder drop and like yoke and wrist. It's really great, really handy. So I'm working on this. I'm working it in La Bien-Aimée Corey worsted and Wensley worsted, which I've used for a sweater before with a smaller gauge, and this one I'm using a size 7 on.
Can I show you?
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
Yeah,
just pull it.
Just pull it.
All right. I'm hoping I can get to the end of this round and then I can put this on.
My leash is long enough.
Spread it out.
Ta-ta-ta.
I did hit the dreaded 3-color row.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. I'm a loose colorwork knitter.
Yeah.
Mine range really loose. I should probably move
it's this one you just did with the little dots in the middle of the
bodies.
Yeah.
I should probably put it on a larger circumference needle.
One is fine when you got 10.
10 is...
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. And
we
these
learned
are like
that cautionary tale already.
The hard way. The other whip I have, I think I threw it under my chair, is... Oh my god, sorry.
You got it? Yeah.
Last winter's...
Yes.
Sweater class, which I haven't. I just put it aside for warm weather.
Yeah, there's no need to be working on it in July. Right?
Mohair in July is
not fun.
not always my faves. So my Tsubaki Pullover. I just have a couple more repeats to do.
Fun. Oh, I love it.
I was working on this. This was a good one to bring to like the ultimate tournaments and stuff because I could just go around. I cannot. Chilean Tsubaki, maybe? I don't remember the pattern.
It's down below.
It's down below. So this one's almost done, but I want to get it done so I can wear it.
Yeah.
I'm also going to put this on.
I really like that one.
Me too. That's also La Bien-Aimée in Amy's Flashy Lipstick, Mohair Silk, Silk Mohair, Mohair Silk. Mohair Silk?
Mohair Silk.
And Super Silk.
Mm-hmm.
So
really nice.
I know. That's going to be fun to wear. That's it. Oh, I have one whip in progress, which I think I'm going to make a sweater vest for my dad out of the LOA Eco Tweed.
Nice.
I like that.
Very nice.
And I think this is a good color for him. So I need my mom to take his measurements of the sweater vest that fits him so I can make a sweater vest to fit him. Mom, I know you're watching. That's it for me.
All right. You want to go next, Amanda?
Yeah.
Sure. Actually, I'm going to take back these 3 stitches I just did at the beginning of a row. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so I am working on my vest with no name. Yeah.
I like that vest with no name.
I took this to Rybeck. Basically. Yeah, so I took this up to Rybeck and worked on, this was pretty much my little travel project because I have it in my, what's her name? Hohi Locatelli little travel bag, which I love.
So cute.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
One handle. Still on the waiting list. Still love these bags.
Perhaps eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really, this one's great for travel, so that's what it's in. I started with an I really like that vest everybody's knitting for Rybeck. Then bought the pattern, looked at it, said, oh, I do not want to do that stitch pattern. And said, but I really like the yarns that I picked out, so I'm going to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yay. So I'll try it on. I'll show you what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yay! This is where we are.
Nice.
So I'm using La Bien-Aimée, and I promise this is not the only yarn we knit with. We don't.
It's not.
I'm using Cricut right now.
Yeah. But yeah, La Bien-Aimée is very nice.
Yeah.
Both the colors and the dyeing, as well as the fibers, they are very nice.
Yeah.
So when you have the option, it's frequently the one
A choice.
chosen.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is the boucle. So it's fingering yardage. So it's like over 400 meters of yardage of boucle.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't knit boucle on like a size 2 needle, or otherwise,
Poofy.
yeah.
Never
Otherwise,
be able
you'll
to pull it
squish
through
the poof.
Yeah, exactly.
You just compress all the air. So what I did was start with and then the black is a yarn that we don't carry, that Beth brought me back from Norway. This is Hillesvåg, and their Vilja base, which is a Norwegian lamb's wool. She brought me 2 skeins of black, so black it is, and it goes so well with this boucle, which is
Highlights it.
yeah. This is the what do you call it? What's the name?
Curious Handmade.
Curious Handmade. Yeah.
It's so funny. There are so many things I can't remember. That one I remember.
No.
I don't know
This
why.
one I know.
That one stuck in my head.
My brain is shot this month. But anyway, yeah, so I looked through my stitch dictionaries, found a stitch pattern that I liked, and sort of modified it to work in the round. This vest is knit in the round from the bottom up. Basically, when you get to sleeve divide, you separate for the top and the bottom. The stitch pattern's actually a little bit easier. Flat, so yay. And then you just knit the back, and then you knit a little bit more on the front, and then separate for a right side and a left side. Yeah, and I've done one, what do you call it? Armband.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm currently working on the other one, which I think I'm going to
Nice.
finish by the end of this podcast.
I think
I've
you
picked
have.
up stitches.
You picked up stitches at the beginning and are like,
Yeah, zooming through. And
it's
then
so cute.
I'll probably take this to Las Vegas on the plane and
You'll
finish.
it.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
so close, really.
And are you gonna do a mitered?
Yes.
I love that.
See, I left
It's a nice detail.
one live stitch
Definitely.
here.
Best way to do it. Yep.
I love it.
So,
I want to make that vest.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I might-
Seisha.
I've been wanting a vest. We'll test for you.
Yeah.
So Seisha, who of course works here at Yarnia, she has been taking a course on how to grade patterns. This one, I made some choices that are going to make it easier to grade. And that, like, there's no fancy stuff trying to stay circular or whatever. When you go up here, it really is just flat in the back, right? And then in the fronts, there's no short rows, there's nothing like that, and then you just pick up and knit around. So, like, it's a very easy construction, and there's no sleeves and all that kind of thing. But I do like that it doesn't. I like the shape of this vest. I designed it the way I wanted it to be.
Yeah, that's great.
I think it fits beautifully.
It doesn't like go up too far under the arm.
Yeah.
Right. So
but it goes up for enough so that you don't have a big gap. I don't love that.
You can wear a close-fitting turtleneck underneath. It comes in a little from the shoulders. I don't like it when they go like all the way.
I do too. You have nice shaping on the.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I know. Can't wait.
Yeah,
we're excited to test.
This is going to be the pattern for it's going to be a long-term web, but I do hope. Yeah, we should.
Gotta come up with a good name for it.
Yeah, A, come up with a good name, and B.
Yeah. I have so many whips.
Yeah, and B, write and grade a pattern.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah.
I do think it's easier actually to grade a pattern for something like a vest or a set-in sleeve because there are a lot of different places to modify, right? You're knitting to a specific height. Your shaping is coming in a specific way. You don't have to worry about short rows because you're knitting the back separate from the front. And you have the V-neck. So again, you know, even if your back and your front are the same height, your front neck is already dropped.
Right.
It's a V. Right? Like,
yeah,
that's cute.
It is a little bit easier that way, thank goodness. Well, and on purpose, right? Like I was like, okay, I think people might want to make this.
Yeah.
Then I made some choices that make it a little bit easier. But I still think it's good.
Yeah, it's planning ahead.
Yep. And I'm knitting this for me with negative ease. It's actually I'd say negative. But not a ton of negative.
Not a ton. Like maybe zero ease.
Maybe zero.
Yeah.
Zero like through the waist and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the stitch pattern, it goes from a 2.5. So this is a 2.5 needle that I'm working on here. On the body, I used a 6. So that gives a lot of room for stretchiness. It's a very stretchy fabric.
Yeah.
So,
yay! The boucle is such a great
it's really
texture.
puffy.
It's really puffy. Yeah. It's really fun. It highlights a pretty yarn. And you only use like one skein of the boucle?
Less than a skein.
Ooh.
Less than a skein of the boucle. Yeah.
Nice.
So. Cool. All right, I'm going to change again. Blue. Now I'm warm again.
Yay, cozy.
It's cold for me today.
It is a very, I think we got fuel oil delivered yesterday.
Yeah.
We had no fuel oil. And I can't believe whoever is right above us, they wouldn't have had heat either.
But I mean, also, it was like 80 degrees last hour.
I know, it was really warm, but we did have a little spell there where it got a little chilly.
Yeah.
And people are like, it's cold. They'd come in, it's cold in here. I'm like, yep, we're working on that.
Try on a sample.
Exactly.
A sweater.
Wear a sweater.
Don't you want to make this? You do want to make this.
Oh, I have said before, we're in a very good place for a cold day.
We are,
Yeah.
exactly.
Put on
Well, and
a
also,
sweater, put
literally,
on a hat.
our building,
Right.
the only places it's exposed to the elements are the very front and the very back. We're
Right.
really
And we
surrounded
face-
by other things. And we face
Our
north.
windows face north.
But
so-
the south side, the sun on the south heats up the back, like the classroom area.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost too much sometimes in the real summer.
I know. In the summer we're like.
But that was partly why it was like, I was like, oh yeah, we should be having heat by now, shouldn't we?
I know. Well, and it's also, it was a weird fall, but like the temperatures were
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah. We didn't really have very many cold days. Some cold mornings.
Yeah.
But, yeah. All right, so any
Let's
more?
talk
So
to
this was my distraction project because I started it and I'm like, I must finish this. I love it so much.
That's kind
this
of
is
You
gonna
want to wear
this
that.
one.
Yeah, I do want to wear that. Let's see. But I think I might finish this collar on the neckline ribbing on the flight to Vegas. So then what am I going to do? Because I'm going to be there through Friday.
Right, you need an option.
You need
Yes.
something else to bring.
I wound some baby yarn.
Ooh.
Oh, yes, it
pretty.
came in. Yay.
Yeah, so I wound up the some Tosh Sport, the sport
Wool cycle
sport. So it's recycled wool from the fiber industry. So they take wool scraps and recycle it into yarn. And yeah, so I got some skeins for Catherine's baby coming home outfit. So I'm going to start that.
And that's the Star Scatter color.
Star Scatter. Yeah, so it's a pretty mauvey pink with flecks of black and like copper.
Yeah,
it's really pretty. It's unusual, but really beautiful.
Yeah, so that'll be nice. Actually, it looks really good with this.
It does look really good.
It does.
It's almost like you have a palette.
You can make a little Sophie scarf to go with that in that yarn. That would be nice.
That would be nice.
That would work.
We'll see if Mama gets anything. And then, speaking of baby projects.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Art is coming.
I have been making progress on Ardith. I really, really, really wanted to be done with this section. This is the last body section, or like main part of the blanket section. But I'm not.
But you're so close.
Yeah, I
mean, I feel like you're still on a really good track for that project.
Yes.
Wow.
So there's baby Ardith.
It's gorgeous.
Coming along.
So beautiful.
So I think I have. I'm still at parts of this row that are or this section that are wavy, which take a long time because it's like
it's extra stitches, basically.
Go below and then 2 single crochets and then 2 half doubles and then 3 doubles and then 2 half doubles, and so you really have to pay attention to everything.
Yeah.
I will very soon get to some straight rows.
Yay! And then you'll fly through those.
And then I'll be done with the main part of the blanket, and then I just have a border. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love those puff stitch little kind of interstitials.
Oh, great. Would you like to do the next one?
No, absolutely not, because I know.
She did her crochet project for the fall. She made Ollie's
I made Ollie's hat
hat
in single crochet, not in puff.
I have one more round of all the way around puff stitches.
Oh boy.
Those do take.
They take forever. They really do.
So many yarn over.
It does take me
It's like a 7 pull puff stitch, or 5 or 7.
You
7
go
is
through
kind of the
an
average.
entire skein of yarn on that one row.
Yes,
you really could, honestly.
So that is.
But it's what gives it all the beautiful texture.
It's
so nice.
But that is also why I'm not making a blanket for every grandchild. Each family gets one.
Oh, that's good. Because honestly, they're all
then it becomes more heirloom anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, those are my whips. I really want to do other things. I have so much baby stuff that's going on right now. Mm-hmm. I want to finish Tim's sweater. You remember the black sweater I was making for my dance instructor?
Sweater.
That's been sitting around since June maybe because I don't have time to do the sleeves. I want to finish that. I have so many things I want to do, but I must finish this blanket.
Yes. You have deadline. Deadline knitting takes priority.
For sure.
So
or crocheting. Deadline crocheting.
Deadline crocheting. But
and knitting.
I really hope by December I can knit on other things. That would be lovely. So November is our finish it month.
There you go.
Excellent.
And clear it out for some fun holiday knitting. Fast projects.
Yes.
Cowls.
Mitts.
Fingerless mitts. Chunky hats. I'm going to be all about that in December. I can't wait. It's going to be good.
You're going to hit that Rasta hard.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. That and the new... What you made your 3-color hats in?
Oh,
the Pasquale.
Pasquale. Yes, I'm doing fingerless mitts.
Yeah,
it's
so
a good
nice.
idea for mitts.
Helen Stewart's knit vent started.
Really?
Yeah, she released the first pattern, which is it's a wrap. The first one's a wrap for the Advent.
Okay.
And then every 2 weeks, I think now she'll be doing more holiday
gift knit type
gift
things.
knits. Yes, now we're getting into the gift knits.
Okay, good. I gotta keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Nice. Love that. Awesome. All right, how about you, Kathleen? What are your whips?
So it was funny, when I was working on the bandana and everything, I was like, I want to be working on a sweater. What sweater am I going to do next? And I couldn't decide, and whatever. And at Rybeck, I saw a lot of beautiful Alpine Blooms.
Oh,
by
my
Kate
goodness.
100.
They're so pretty.
They're so pretty. So as soon as I got back to the store, I started looking around. Oh, and also I had bought a skein of the Trey Liz fingering at Le Suitcase sale with the yarns Amanda brought back from France.
This is
So
craziness.
I was looking at, just like, what am I going to do? I bought this beautiful skein. It's called Birthday Girl, I believe. So pretty. I think it's Birthday Girl. It's either Birthday Girl or Birthday Cake. Here we go. I actually have the label right here.
You probably got one that I didn't photograph because they're all gone.
Yeah. And also I'm using my pink Black Pearl Magic bag because it is definitely like pink, orange, yellow. I mean, there's all kinds of tones through there that I love. The swatch that I did came out, it's a little more pink, but it's fine. But also I love that I have been able to have it in my pink project bag.
I think it coordinates.
You have to see this swatch.
It's so pretty.
Like,
So I was
gosh.
swatching for needle size and also
look at that.
just to see if the yarns played together nicely and everything. I decided to use Hillborn Woolen's Cricket as the body of the sweater, and I happen to have an open skein of white, and that's why I used the white. I had white left over from another project.
Yeah,
I love the white too, but
too.
I could never wear a white sweater. I would mess it up within about a week. It would be So
Oh my goodness.
so I got the black, which is what my plan was, and I think that's gonna look really fun.
I think
These colors against the black. So
I love it with the white.
so I did start on that. And actually it's taken a little bit of time because it is, black fingering lace.
Yeah.
But I really am happy with it. So what I'm going to do when I get home is put it on pearl strings and just make sure I'm happy with the fit of the collar.
Yeah.
If I hadn't been lazy last night, I would have actually done that before I did the short rows. But I think it's going to be okay. I think it's going to be fine. I chose not to do. When I get home, I'm going to put this on pearl strings because I want to go ahead and try it on now before I go even further. I actually, while we were here, I finished the short rows and I got to the point of starting the color work. So before I embark on the color work, it starts pretty much right away. So before I embark on that, I'm going to put it on pearl strings, try it on, and make sure I'm happy with the fit. It would have been really smart if I did that before I did the short rows, but I was being lazy last night, and I was like, I don't feel like getting up and getting my pearl strings. I will
Sometimes
keep
that
knitting.
dictates a lot of our decisions of like, do I have to go upstairs?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well,
literally.
The only time I do it right away is if my pearl strings are in my bag.
Yeah.
Yes,
If they're in
exactly.
the bag,
I know.
Then I'll do it. But
Yeah, I'm
otherwise-
like halfway through a whip reorganization because I have 2 sets of pearl strings. Can I tell you where either one of them are? No.
Oh,
They're
then
in
obviously you're not going to use
Yeah,
them.
I'm so bad about cleaning up when I'm done with the project. I am the worst. I am the worst. I have one of my favorite project bags has like remnants of 3 projects in it right now that at least they're contained, so I know where they are. Maybe I'll do that later today.
I have a project bag that is literally just full of remnants.
Of
where I'm
course.
like, you are now the remnant project bag.
There is
Yeah,
always
yeah.
I have a remnant project bag too.
But also even needles and things, right? Needles
totally.
and everything.
Needles.
Yeah, needles.
I put them
tools,
away.
everything.
My tools I put away.
Yeah,
See,
I don't.
do that.
Because partly one of the reasons I don't put the tools away is a lot of times I still need to update my Ravelry project,
you're
and then
smart.
the needles in there. It's like, what did I use for value? Oh yeah, I used a 4 or I used a 5 or whatever.
Well, that would be useful if one made Ravelry pages.
I am gonna do
I'm in
our
both of
Ravelry. I am gonna do our Ravelry class soon because I did.
Yes.
I uploaded a ton of yarn on Sunday. I did. I don't know. I put like 20 different skeins.
Oh wow!
I got 2 for Rybeck weekend, but I had all this random stuff. Some of which you gave me when you were destashing some of the things you knew you would never use and things.
Yep.
So I put a ton in, and it's like I need to keep going with this. Anyway, we digress. Really happy with the way this looks with the black cricket.
Really pretty. I like the lace edging. You were saying that.
Thank you. Yes, that I feel like I've seen it both, and I did see a bunch of these at Rybeck. A lot of people wearing them. Oh, and of course the autumnal version came out on Monday, right? Or maybe over the weekend, whenever it was. Very like after I cast this on, a new version of it came out.
Yeah.
So, but I'm fine. I like this one. I a lot of times I take my time.
Yeah.
Like I think I want to do something that's new that comes out. I'm much better when I take my time and really let it percolate a little bit and see, do I really love that? And by the time I cast this on, I'm like, I love it. I knew how I wanted to do it. I'm also wearing more short sleeve sweaters in the winter.
Yeah.
Like if it's a really chilly day, I'll wear it with a turtleneck under it. If it's not that chilly a day, I'll wear a short sleeve wool sweater, and I don't know, more comfortable with that. So,
I'd wear a Rasta sweater.
I know.
Y'all know I would.
So, I have seen both on some of the sweaters I saw at Rybeck, and, I know from, like, from the soldatinas and everything, a lot of times, especially for the larger sizes, a fair number of people feel like the Caitlin's Hunter sweaters aren't graded great for larger sizes, especially around the neckline. Yeah. The neckline is really where it's a problem, and I could see that, and that's one reason that I did. I decided not to go down a needle size. It would let the lace expand a little bit. Yeah. And we'll see. You know, it's funny. As much as I say always swatch, I also do things that it's like. Well, it's kind of like calculated risk, right? I know I'm probably going to be fine with it, and if I really hate it, it's 2 evenings of knitting, I'll rip it out.
Right,
you know,
that's
it's not
that big a deal. To rip it out,
yeah.
You don't need to swatch.
But that said, I did swatch. I swatched for the Colorwork. I swatched for basic needle size, and from now on, I think it's like at least 75% likely I'm just going to keep going with this, and if I'm in that 25, so be it. You know, it's fine.
And as long as you have at least one row of knits, you can always run a lifeline through, even after the fact, snip a stitch, and knit it back up.
I know, but that's annoying to me. But anyway,
but like, there's always a recourse.
There are ways to deal with it.
There's always a recourse if you're like, which is more annoying?
Yeah, like the body of the sweater twice.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, for sure. So anyway, Alpine Bloom, and one interesting thing about this, for me anyway, is that I am going to attempt the Wervel technique for the first time with this sweater. And what that means is Wervel is a pattern in
neons and neutrals.
It's in neons and neutrals, Aimée Gille's, most recent book. And the Wervel sweater has color work at the top done in fingering, and then below that it is DK. Yeah. So which allows you to use a bigger needle and all of that. So I got 3 skeins of the Cricut, and I'm planning on working the body. Like, as soon as I'm past the color work, I'm going to switch to the bigger needle. I'm going to knit 2 together all the way around, and we'll see. Maybe I'll actually play with that on the swatch first. I'll pick up on the swatch. But,
I think that's cool. And I think Cricut's a great yarn to do that with.
Yeah.
Because it's just it's a single ply, and it's just gonna,
kind of make it stronger and make it,
Yeah. It's Lucky Tweed's baby sister.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. I think that's going to be really cool. Fun. So, if all goes well, who knows? I could be wearing this next episode. We'll see.
Woo!
What?
Speedy.
Well, because this was, we got 2 weeks, and this was Colorwork flat, which I'm always slower at, Colorwork flat.
Yeah.
And I didn't swatch this in the round because I know my tension in the round and flat do not really vary much. So, normally you would recommend swatching in the round because it's worked in the round. I've made enough things where I know I don't need to worry about that.
When you know yourself.
I just was more color, and do I like the way this is working up and all of that. I'm so excited to see it, though. I can't wait to get home and move on to the next part.
Love it.
So, yeah, and I was so antsy when I had no sweaters, like, on the way to Rybeck. Both days, I'm like, I should be working on a sweater. Because, like, that to me is, like, the perfect cord knitting thing. Yeah. Especially when you're onto the body or a sleeve or something. So, not only did I play around with that and swatch that, I finally am starting a sweater for Jean.
Yay!
So, I am using some of the very last of our Northlight Atlantic.
Oh. Such a nice yarn.
And this is the Diddle D colorway. So, and this is still on the needles, but again, just playing for what needle size I'm going to use. I think I am going with a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will block it, just to be sure. And
also, like, if you don't know if a yarn changes with blocking, like, it's just helpful to know.
Yeah, the last time I used this yarn was so long ago, and it was not. It was something with a textured stitch, so it's
so it's totally a different.
I just need to
different animal.
Really need to do it. So I am doing the Pemberton Pullover, which is a pattern originally written for woolstock, but the gauge
like
is
a Gansey.
Yeah, it's really nice, and it's funny. Somebody came into the store recently who had started on, I forget which sweater it was, but it was an all over patterned cable-y kind of sweater. And she was like, this is so hard. And, do you have anything like it? I said, not only do I have something like it, I was swatching for it myself. So
take a look at this.
And it's Peggy, who, like, once she gets on a project is so fast. So she's probably going to come in later this week and show me. She's got, like, the front done or something.
I'm done.
Yeah. And I am probably going to work this in the round because I like knitting way better than purling. Yeah. And it'll be fine. I can do the faux seams. It's a bit of a drop shoulder. I mean, I have to. Seams. I did measure him and see. I forget what size I'm making. I didn't mark it down. I need to remeasure him. Anyway, yeah, because I started on that and then I started on this, and now.
Because now that Chad has one sweater, he's like, "Oh, I like this.
This is so nice having a handmade sweater."
This is why Jonathan still doesn't have a sweater. Also because he's so picky, which is fine. I'm also picky.
Yeah. And then the last whip I have that I really thought would be done by now, but I have been playing around with it so much. This was right after the last episode. I took home a skein of the Savvy in the Desert City Wattage color.
Oh, I love that color.
So, because we were getting rid of the last sample we had that was a super bulky cowl. I'm trying to make it. Isn't that so pretty? Oh my god.
Oh, it's
my goodness.
So
pretty.
Gorgeous, right? I really wanted it to be a 2-wrap, a double wrap cowl.
Yeah.
It's not quite enough yardage for that, and I don't really want to do a second one for the
That makes
sample.
sense.
Yeah.
So I'm going to basically calculate how many square inches of fabric I'm going to get,
Okay.
and then recast it on with the appropriate number of stitches to get one that is like a deep single wrap cowl, but nice and tall.
Yeah.
So this is already the second time I've done this.
I mean, this is the nice thing about super bulky, though, is that
it's so fast.
It goes so fast. It builds up
fast.
so quickly.
And actually, I have a kind of crazy tip, but it actually worked really well for me.
Yeah.
So I did most of it. So I hand wound it into like a regular ball, mixing bowl a little. Because especially when I first had it, it was way bigger than my yarn bowl.
Yeah.
But this lets it really spin freely.
Yeah.
Isn't that fun? So.
Love it.
Tip of the week. Try a mixing bowl if your yarn bowl is not big enough. Yeah.
My mixing bowls have all been taken up with pumpkin guts. So.
Oh, yeah. We did that last night. When I say we, I mean Jonathan. Certain things I do not
We
do.
family.
Halloween hoopla at the school and pumpkin carving. Not my jam.
So that's all the whips that are
That's a lot of whips.
Like
Clearly, we are.
But
I'm on it.
I'm feeling better. It is sweater season.
It is
it's
sweater season.
I'm all about making the sweaters.
I know what you mean when you feel itchy about not doing
I
sweaters.
was I felt like I needed medication.
I had to practically sit on my hands to not start this too early.
Yes.
Because for me, Colorwork goes so quickly because it's so potato chippy, and I can just blow through a yoke, and then I'm like,
but I need to be demonstrating for the class.
But I need to show people things, so I'm like, oh, Jacob, what am I gonna do?
I know.
That's why I was like, I'll need a shop sample. Give it to me.
Yeah, and actually, I think it was. That's right. And then you did the hat. I think it was. It may have been Natalie, or it was. I don't know. Some podcast I was watching recently, who was saying, it's so good to swatch while you're still working on one sweater. Which, yes, absolutely, I totally recommend that normally, and do as I say, not as I do, right? Because I couldn't decide. That was part of it, but that was so part of it. It was like I absolutely could not decide what I wanted to do. And so I didn't want to be until I decided I didn't really want to be swatching. Yeah. But then once I decided, I was like, all right, swatching all the things. And yeah.
I'm going to do a bulky sweater for me, but not super bulky. Because super bulky goes too fast.
Because you're like,
and it's also so warm. Well, your Christmas sweater.
She's fine for that.
But even your reindeer sweater, like you even said,
that's
hard to wear.
No, the reindeer sweater is thicker than... Yeah,
you need to go cower.
That's a true super perfect for ice skating.
Yeah,
right.
Yes,
outside
great.
Yeah, but I think a nice
bulky weight.
And I just realized we didn't do episode number. I think they're
112.
Close.
113.
Yes.
Yay!
We must have missed it in one episode too, or I don't know. One person wrote in the comments episode number.
You're like, I don't know.
Did we miss it? I'm like, oh, did we miss it again?
Probably.
Or who knows? Yeah.
Right. We're easily distracted. Did we mention that?
We are.
And we should talk about. Do we want to talk about our prize winner from last week before we go into We Have Opinions?
Yes. So our prize winner from last week is
week before last
week before last. Sorry, her last episode. Kendra M7511, who said, and the prize was 2 balls of For Real.
Oh my goodness.
She said, I would make a stuffed animal with For Real, so snuggly for a child stuffy.
Oh my god, adorable.
I just signed up for the class and bought yarn for this Svendsdatter Pullover, so she was in your class yesterday.
I was like, why does that name sound so familiar?
That name sounds familiar, exactly.
That's why that name sounds so familiar. Like, I just stared at it, and you...
Yeah, so Kendra, let us know what color For Real you'd like. Take a look on the website, see them all, and if you want anything else, let us know. Shipping's on us.
And also, I want to see that stuffed animal.
That's right, exactly. There were so many great ideas.
We're not holding you to it. It's okay. You can make other things.
You can make whatever you want. But a few fun suggestions that people had. Mm-hmm. The cowl, of course. A lot of people like the cowl, the blanket. One thing that I thought was really fun, a bucket hat. Wouldn't that be so cute in the For Real? So I think I need to do one of those.
Oh my god, that would be adorable, especially in like one of the like bright colors.
Yes. So I think that'd be really fun. Or black. I think that'd be really fun in the black.
Oh.
Yeah.
When I was making the first cowl, like however long ago, at one point before it was finished, it was like partially done, and I was just like wearing it around the house with the needles on it, like a big ear warmer, and I was like, look at my Russian fur hat, and everybody in my house is like, you're the weirdest person, and I was like, you shut up. It's fun. It's fun. We entertain ourselves.
Yeah. All right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really fun. So congratulations, Kendra, and we will be asking our question for this episode shortly.
And a little bit.
But first, we have hashtag opinions. And actually, I need to add to our spreadsheet, there were one or two new questions in recent episode comments, possibly one in the Rybeck episode, too.
Because feel free when you comment, like, even if it's not on that specific episode, like, just put hashtag opinions.
If there's something you're wondering that you would like to hear our opinions on. Yeah. So,
we see all the comments.
Yeah, totally.
Even if it's not on like a current video.
Absolutely, yeah. We get notified of them, which is really handy. So, we were together last Friday, actually, talking about some new merch for the store and all. And we picked our questions.
Yes.
And so
prepared.
I know, right? Look at us.
Some of us are prepared. Some of us don't remember what we picked.
So, we picked, in our first whole, battery of these, we had 3 people who were asking about short rows. I'm just going to read them so you hear what the general frame is. So Regina Seeger said, "Hi gals, whenever I see a pattern with short rows, I skip it. They scare me. What method of short rows do you recommend, and how do I get over my fear of knitting them?" We can help. K-Mom43 said, "I would also like your opinion on short rows. I hate doing them. Make me love them." We can. And Nancy Morales said, "What is your favorite short row technique and why?" So let's talk a little bit about short rows.
I have an answer to all 3 of those, and it's German short rows.
Yes, I agree.
Amanda?
I wrap and turn.
Really?
Yeah, I always wrap and turn. Even if it says German short rows, I wrap and turn.
Oh, and even if it says wrap and turn, I do German short rows. That's what I was doing. I was doing my short rows on this. German short rows. Pattern says wrap and turn, German short rows.
German short rows.
I feel like
stockinette based German short rows.
Yeah, once you...
In tons of sweaters. And like the which one? The autumn court that I did. Wrap and turns. And it doesn't, mine don't look holy or gappy.
No, they don't necessarily. I just think shitty. I just think the German short rows are easier, and I feel like they disappear better in general. Yeah. I really do.
I'm a big, well, you know what it is? I think that, first off, all short row methods can be interchangeable, right? So if you prefer wrap and turn, do wrap and turn. If you prefer German short rows, do German short rows. If you prefer Japanese short rows, which are very similar to a German short row, essentially the exact same thing, but through a different method, do a Japanese short row. If you like the shadow wrap ones where it's basically like a lifted increase, do that. I don't love that though. I love a German short row and anything stockinette based. It's my absolute favorite method.
And do you want to another thing in defense of German short rows? And actually, you could use it if your preference is wrap and turns. I feel like you could do it the same way. And Jen may disagree.
I'm waiting.
I'm already knowing.
I'm waiting to hear.
So basically, I know sometimes, in intermediate or whatever, because Jen is our resident total expert. She is the highest level of expert among us for sure. I ask questions too sometimes, so I'll be like, all right, I'm substituting German short rows for wrap and turns here. Do I do an extra stitch? What do I do? And I know there's an answer, but you know what I also realized? It doesn't really matter.
A stitch isn't going to kill you.
A stitch isn't going to kill you, which is my philosophy on everything.
Right.
So, well, it's true though. It's true. I feel like I say that to people at least 5 times a week.
When they're like, oh my God, it's like, the math tells me to do 2 2/3 stitches. And be like, so do 3.
So you can't.
I'm like, that's okay. I'm like, the reality is the reality. But there is an answer. If you're swapping, if the instructions say to do a wrap and turn, and you need to do a German short row instead.
You do one more stitch?
Yes. So basically, you work to the pattern's point of turn. The pattern says work to this, and then do a wrap and turn. When you're doing that, okay. So when you're swapping in, and the pattern says do a wrap and turn, and you want to swap in a German short row or I got to think about it for a Japanese short row or a shadow wrap. But essentially,
and also here's the thing too. I'm talking about on sweaters. If you're doing socks, this may not Though it may be
it is the same for socks.
All right.
So
I mainly am concerned about it with sweaters.
Yeah. And I think that's what scares people more, right? Is that when you're doing a short row and you're doing a wrap and turn, what you're doing is you're working to the point of turn, and then it says wrap and turn. So you've worked to here. Here's your next stitch that I guess if you're looking at me. You work to here, and here's your next stitch. You wrap and turn this stitch, right? So this stitch has becomes
the wrap stitch. Yeah.
Wrapped it. Strangle it. Strangle it.
And then continue knitting.
And then continue go boop, 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 boop. Right.
So therefore,
So therefore, when you're doing a German short row, the German short row closure is worked on the last stitch that you worked. So when you're doing a German short row, you work to the point of the turn where it says wrap and turn. You work one more stitch. You work the stitch that's going to be wrapped. Then you turn your work.
And then you
yank it up and over, super, super tight. Pull, pull, pull. What your needles should do, like if your needles are like chilling out here. No, when you pull, you need to go, and you'll feel them suck up. So you need to do it tight, 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 tight.
But if you're using a single ply yarn,
don't pull so tight that you break it.
Exactly.
But
you want to tug it. You want to tug it so that you see the two legs where there was one.
The two legs, and you really do want if your needles still have play between them, you haven't pulled it enough. You need to pull it gently, tightly,
and so
they crisscross. And then you put the yarn back to where it is. So basically, to swap in a German short row for a wrap and turn. Yes. You work to the point of the turn where it says wrap and turn. You work one more stitch. You turn your work. You slip your stitch from the now left needle to the right needle. You turn your work. You make sure your yarn is in the front. You slip your stitch from the left needle to the right needle. You take your yarn up and over the needle. Pull, 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 pull. Bring it back to wherever it is you need it to work. If you're working a purl row next, the next stitch is on your left needle or purl. You bring it to the front, knit, keep it in the back, pull, 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 suck the needles together, and then continue on your merry way. Right?
And my addition to this, and the thing I took the picture of earlier, what I do, and especially it made a huge difference with the black yarn, I throw a stitch marker on what they call it a double stitch.
Yes,
when you create, when you do that pull with the German short row, I mark my double stitches because
especially
that makes it, but I do it anyway. And it's like, I don't know, we've had people in class who are like, it's like, oh, do I need to do that? I'm like, it helps. It makes it easier. It's like, that way I know, but I need to pay more attention if they're not if they're not like clipped, and by clipping them. And the other, it makes it really easy to see. It's like, all right, now I'm knitting through both legs here.
Yeah,
because otherwise,
when you resolve them, essentially you have your double stitch kind of looks almost like a little X that goes into like over the back of the needle, like it has two legs, but the front of the needle has like a little X at the beginning, and that's the base of the stitch that you've yanked up and over. I feel it, so I know to go into it. And to resolve it, you knit into that, you knit that complete double stitch together. Some people do have an issue if you're working in the round and you're working back and forth, right? Your last double stitch, when you go back and you work in the round, resolving all of your double stitches as you come to them, you're fine. Like, say I've done short rows here, like I resolve all of these double stitches, great, I'm working around the back, I resolve all of these double stitches, I have one more here that I'm coming to. Sometimes that one, people do get a gap, and the way to address that is to knit the first leg of the double stitch on its own, and then do a slip knit with the second leg and the next real stitch over. If in my experience, it shows up more in certain yarns than others. And if you do it tight enough, I do my double stitches very tight. If you do it tight enough, it doesn't show, but sometimes you might need that.
Interesting.
I do like wrap and turns in one instance.
Garter.
Yeah. Or seed.
When you don't have to pick up the wraps.
Don't pick up the wraps.
Yeah.
The wrap itself is what closes up the gap. You just need to hide the wraps. In a stockinette based something.
All right, I'm going to put on comments now. Because if you hate, you need short rows. Short rows will make your garments feel more comfortable. If you're making a yoked sweater like what I'm wearing today, or what Jen's working on, a raglan like what Jen's wearing today, right? All of these are knit in the round, right?
Either
top down
or bottom up.
Or bottom up. That's right. It's in my Marius, which is also a colorwork yoke. It's bottom up, and I put short rows in the red at the end. Chad sweater, which is a raglan, right? Has short rows because you're knitting it in the round.
And you need the back to be longer than the front eventually.
Right.
That's the purpose.
The other way to get a good fitting sweater that has the back longer than the front is to knit a pieced garment or use a contiguous method.
Yep.
Or knit in the round to the underarms and then work front and back separate.
Yeah. Right.
But which is similar to a pieced.
Right. Exactly.
So if you are like, ugh, I don't feel like dealing with short rows, try some of the Cocoa Knits sweaters, right? Which have a beautiful modified contiguous method where there are not short rows there. They sometimes use short rows for other shaping in the garment if you've got like longer back than the front and things like that. Let's see, or what else?
You can do a staggered start. The Marie Chen, I can't remember if it has short rows, but it has a staggered start. It's a so a lot of your round yoke, your raglans begin with ribbing, right? Traditionally, and I'm not necessarily like saying like historically traditionally, I'm just saying like when I started knitting sweaters, there were top down, sure, and there were bottom up, sure, but they all had edging. Like a lot of the ones I saw had edging added after.
Applied. Yeah.
Yeah, applied edging. So a lot of times for something like that, you have a staggered start where you cast on for your back neck and like a little bit of, let's say for a raglan, back neck and a couple of, I used to convert them to short rows.
Yeah.
Back neck and a couple of your sleeve stitches, and then you either do a staggered start cast on or a combination of cast on and increases to scoop out that front neck because our bodies are not symmetrical. Like this is your body and your neck is not placed directly on top of your torso. It's placed canted to the front. So you have a longer back neck and you have a shorter front neck, and you need to scoop out space, otherwise you're going to get choked.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of ways to do that. You can do that, and, increases and whatever, and additional cast on, and then you cast on to bridge the gap when you've got enough of a drop.
And then continue with a colorwork pattern.
And you can continue with a colorwork pattern like that. And you can also, like, a lot of top-down sweaters have short rows right after the ribbing. I don't love that little crescent of non-patterned thing. So, and if it's a texture pattern, I'll include the texture pattern in there, right? Or sometimes patterns will have that. If you're doing a raglan, you have to do your increases while you're doing those short rows. Again, makes a better fitting sweater. The other place you can do is you can incorporate short rows throughout the yoke. So you can do like one here, you can do one here, you can do one here, you can do more there. You can put them all in. This pattern has them after the yoke patterning is done.
And the Gib 2 had it in the collar.
Oh, interesting.
The collar
ribbing.
So the ribbing
I've
is
seen that
thicker
too.
in the back than it is in the front.
So you can always do that. When we did the anchor sweater for the class, like I was like, I'm not doing a pattern without short rows, or I'm not making it for me without short rows. I'm putting short rows in because I like a well-fitting sweater. And I understand why she didn't include it, because you had rib patterning throughout the yoke, but then you can throw it into the rib chunks if you wanted to. It's not hard. And you could, that's one where, sorry as I poke you, that's one where you could do the wrap and turns. If it's in the ribbing, you wrap and turn it on a purl,
and you don't even have to resolve it.
Right.
Yep.
See? Then we're both happy. I just put my short rows in after I did the yoke patterning.
Yeah.
But yeah, try a German short row. It is,
I
a
agree.
Japanese short row is very similar to, it's just kind of done after the fact.
I feel like when I remember I tried them on something, and I feel like the descriptions sound way more complicated, where the German short row is like, once you get it down, it is so easy.
Well, here's the thing. If you have ever dropped your double stitch and had to pick it up and you're like, I now no longer have a double stitch, I have a single stitch, then when you come to that single stitch, use a Japanese short row to recreate your German short row double stitch. That's actually pretty straightforward. There's another name for it. There's lots of different ways to close up that gap with short rows. Like if you've ever made top-down socks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you turn the heel, you're using short rows. You're changing the stitch count though because your short row gaps. You just when you turn your heel, you just turn the work, slip a stitch, work across. You work to one stitch before the gap, and then you do a decrease over the gap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing short rows.
Yeah.
But like try different ways, like cast on a swatch. Use like a chunky yarn where it's easy to see, and try a couple of different ways. Like it's fun to do because also you can just make 3-dimensional shapes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think wrap and turns came about because they were easy to describe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think they work just fine, but I'm a much tighter knitter than you guys are.
I lose.
I'm pretty much on gauge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I like knitting denser fabrics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you're on the tighter side and your fabric is more dense, then the wrap and turns, I think,
They'll
work
hide
fine.
a little bit better.
Yeah.
I have success hiding usually one wrap. Like one side is fine, and then the other side I'm like I can see it.
I agree.
Makes
me
nuts.
too. I think usually one side works and the other side is more visible, where I don't have that issue with short rows.
Yeah.
So
Me either.
So you know what? I feel like with the amount of time we spent, maybe we should hold our other hashtag opinion for next time.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because
We
we have
exhausted.
opinions. Well, it took however long it took. So
Like I could keep.
and we still have to talk about new in store.
I know. Let's talk about new in store.
Yes. So we have a couple of things out here. Actually, I guess we can move the pumpkins now.
Those aren't even in the store.
They
The
are, but
pumpkins
they're
are new in the store.
they're not
Let's have
something
the
you can
pops,
buy.
too.
They're not for sale.
They're not for sale. I
Yeah,
mean,
I got it, I got
you
it.
can
You
take
have a
that
better-
one, but still,
Like, I'm
I
not
just don't
so
want-
many
I don't
things
want them to
Rower.
go by for you.
to do. So yes, we have, as you saw in Jen's hat, we've got Rasta.
Rasta.
We got 20 colors.
Yes.
It was so hard to pick.
Yesterday was the first day it was out in the store. We definitely sold a bunch.
Yeah.
And
Well, basically, what I did was I looked at Ravelry,
mm-hmm,
all the yarns y'all have stashed, and all the projects you've ever made in Rasta.
mm-hmm.
And I
And then we
sorted
went
by
through.
color.
Yeah.
The most popular colors, the 16 most popular colors
Mhm.
on Ravelry, are what we have.
Wow.
And then we added,
And then we added a few
four
that
more.
we thought
A couple
because
that
we
we
like
like.
were necessary. So yeah, so we
Yeah.
got a nice selection, and I'm sure we'll be reordering before long because it
Oh, yeah.
definitely it is the perfect thing for gift knits and things.
It really is. It's a really nice, and I feel like it's a good companion too to some of our other super bulkies, like the
Savvy.
Thank you. I was like, I can't think of it. You just showed
That
it.
word,
I
the
lost
word.
my mind.
I think it would be so fun to play with it with knit collage.
Oh,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Like-
hmm
It's a good companion.
Yeah, you could do
Yes.
throw a daisy chain in there with one of these or something. That would
Or
be
like
fun.
one of your
Yeah.
like get a mini skein set of the knit collage and
Yep.
Rasta and just like throw in a couple stripies in
yeah.
in something. That would be so fun. And you get a lot of yardage in the Rasta too. I think
Yeah, it's
for
90
super
yards.
bulky.
90 yards, and it is they don't actually say it on the label, but I did weigh a couple of them. It's approximately 150 grams.
Yeah.
So
It's a big
it is a big skein.
Yeah. Which is great when you're like, I do not need 2 skeins. to
Yeah,
do
you
that.
don't
Thank you.
exactly for
Yeah.
sure. And yeah, you really should be able to do any adult hat.
Yeah.
And still have some left over.
So we have some tonal colors. We have some multis. Like I love this one. Which one is this? This is cherry vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, it does look like cherry vanilla.
I like that purple one.
This is
Yes,
pretty, and I
that
like
was
that one.
so
Can we
pretty.
switch?
This one here?
Yeah, let me see what that one's called.
Archangel, and this one is Boreala.
Yeah, this one is definitely. This is like more. It's got those orangey tones in there with the purple and
No, it's like Amanda's cool purple and Kathleen's more orangey.
I
yeah.
like that.
And this is really pretty too. This brown. Whoops.
Oh, the brown is like so rich.
This is Coronia. And the blues. I mean, just all their colors are gorgeous.
I mean,
Yeah.
that multi teal is just calling my name as per usual.
Oh, good.
So the Rasta is
Oh, the whole grain.
Whole grain,
that's
Isn't
beautiful.
that a great?
It is
That's a
like for a
great
neutral. It's so
taupey,
pretty.
But it's
And
multi.
multi.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I love that.
There's another one too. It may not be out. I thought we had all of
There's
them
a
out.
gray one.
Almond blossom.
Oh,
I think it
it
was.
might
It's
not
like
be out.
very.
That's the pinky one.
Yeah, so pretty. And I saw a new hat in that. Hope I put it in our favorites. If not, I will look for it and add it because it was just shown in that. It was so pretty.
So we have the Rasta. It's available in store and online. And yeah, I love it. But we also have another new in store. Sorry, I have to.
And it's actually returning to store because we did carry it for a few years early on. But we just thought there are so many patterns out there right now, like Alpine Bloom, where something like this is perfect. And it is the Zabra ball.
I'm saying it wrong.
Well, no, I think that's right.
I just like saying it.
One of our customers who was born in Germany and still, even though she's lived here for decades, has a pretty strong accent, told us one day, she's like, yes, Zabra ball.
I also love it because they show a little stripe of the colorway on the ball.
On the tag,
so you can see all the colors that are involved. So these are Zabra Ball Crazies, which are wool and polyamide. So they are perfect for socks if you want to make socks. They're fingering weight. They're 2-ply, and each ply is colored differently. So this is very similar
it's like a color changing marl.
A color changing marl with long color stripes and long color changes. So if you were going to make like an Alpine Bloom and you did not say want to buy spin cycle, you can get a Zabra
This is a good thing.
Which is like there are so many patterns that call for this kind of thing. You could do color work, like easy color work in this looks so cool because it just does all of your changing for you.
If you take a look at some of the Alpine Blooms on Ravelry and like whether they use this yarn or something else, you would definitely get that effect. It's just it's so fun. And it's the other thing
I like this color.
I love this color.
I was photographing.
That's really pretty. Yeah. The poly in this now is biodegradable.
That's amazing.
Yeah, which basically, when we read about it, it's like, your socks shouldn't deteriorate, but if you were to compost it, it would break down.
Yeah.
So it's,
that's
it's
great.
just, so it's not something that's going to hang around on the planet forever. So that's really good.
That's
a good
really
thing.
awesome.
Yeah.
And one ball is enough for 2 socks. It's a 100-gram ball.
Yep.
I can't remember how much are the Zabra balls.
They are 26, I think.
26, and you get a bajillion yards. It's like a standard fingering.
Yeah, it's over 400 yards.
And it's all in German.
It's all in
There's the English. Where is it? 450 gram, 100 gram? I don't remember. That's still in German. Anyway, it's a lot of yardage. 420 meters.
There you go.
There we go.
So it's like 440 yards.
Yeah. So take a look at sweaters if you want to make sweaters, socks. This would be a super fun sock.
You can make a lone skein shawl in this.
Ooh, that would be so
You have enough
pretty.
yardage for a lone skein shawl.
Yeah.
Because it's 420.
459.318 yards.
0.318.
It's a lot of yardage.
It's a lot of yardage.
Yeah.
I know. I was thinking about doing a hitchhiker too. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, the hitchhiker and the Zabra ball.
Oh my goodness. I remember some weaving people have done with these that are shockingly awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Because they definitely, like each one, and I love this one. This is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
They kind of have a palette, and so it kind of, even though the colors are going to change throughout it, they're all going to have that same vibe, as they would say, right?
Yeah, the vibe is there.
Yeah, so it's not like you just get random colors.
And you don't have to guess because they're printed on the label. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you, Zabra ball. Shuffle. So what is our question? Okay, so our question this week, we had to think. What is the most interesting Halloween costume you saw either this year
or ever? If there was one that was so amazing at another point in time.
Yes. It could be somebody else's.
Yeah. I want to see Amanda's kids. I think it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. Right? I think it sounds great. And what will they win?
Oh, and they will win their choice of either a skein of Rasta or Zabra ball.
Love it.
Are you into the super bulky? Or are you into the
Those
fingering?
are opposite spectrum ends.
Right?
Yeah.
Fingering, super bulky.
Yeah, it's funny when I was talking with Emma, who helps us with our social media stuff. I'm like, can we do something with big and small or whatever?
Yeah,
but then they weren't coming out on the same day. But anyway, so yeah, big or small, it's your choice.
I love it.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to touch on before we sign off?
I don't know, but I got to write that down before.
Write it down. So yes, thank you guys for watching and listening. And if this is your first time, thank you for making it all the way through.
Yeah, if you made it all the way through, Thank you. You're our people, right?
If you fast forwarded, that's cool too.
That is totally fine.
We'll
if you sped us up, we were really impressed.
I know, because
pretty fast.
we talk really fast, and this is my second cup of coffee. But in the meantime, we hope you guys have a great couple of weeks.
Yep.
Hope you had a lovely Halloween. We hope November is going well for you. Make sure to like and subscribe. Subscribing, you'll get notifications when we post extras.
And liking helps too. It really does.
And liking really does help.
Yeah.
But like, if you didn't know that we were going to do a Rybeck recap, when I say we, I mean them, then if you had subscribed, you would have got a notification saying there was a bonus.
You would have.
Which is very helpful to just keep track of things. And then also, don't forget to follow us online. We're on Instagram at Shop Yarnia. A lot of new stuff is coming through on Instagram this coming fall. And also our newsletter, where you can sign up on our website, shopyarnia.com. You scroll down to the bottom, sign up, get sent once a week.
And that's the best place to find out about new classes. Things that are coming out in the store before you hear about them here. All sorts of things.
All kinds of things. So, thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.